I invite you into, this opportunity to see around how you can work with this lunar energy this week. And lunar energy is so powerful because it rules our internal worlds, and our internal worlds that are, woven into our belief systems and our emotions and all of those things. That's actually where we shift trajectories, right? And so when we come into this lunar understanding, we're coming into the feminine, we're coming into listening, we're coming into this moment of, okay, what do I need to see that I'm not seeing right now? Dear Miss Craft, this is a transmission from the seventh dimension. I'm Camille Craft, and about 3.5 years ago, I made a decision to use the eclipse portals to quantum leap. I'm going to show you on this podcast how to specifically create revenue, money, impact, change, and visibility using the power within you. It is through the astrological impact of astrology that I've been able to create a 7-figure brand, go completely viral, reach 200K months with consistent ritual. And I'm going to break down specifically how you are going to do that in your life without having to sacrifice more time, your identity, and your life purpose. So if you're ready to master making money but need to find your life purpose, this is for you. Welcome in, everybody. We are now integrating the full moon in Scorpio, and this week is going to help you master whatever came up during that full moon. So let's recap a little bit on what happened last week. We had the Scorpio full moon. Scorpio is the sign of transformation. It is also the sign of your personal power, your freedom. It's going to expose shadows that you didn't know was there. And then ultimately, it's going to show you exactly how to create your wealth because we're in the middle of Taurus season. So if something was illuminated for you on Beltane on May 1st and now you're integrating it, welcome. It's here to set you free. Kicking us off this week is a waning moon in Sagittarius. A waning moon in Sagittarius is synonymous with learning how or examining how we can take the brake pedal off of the way that we're ready to move. So if you find yourself overthinking, over analyzing, or kind of like in the sludge a little bit, I'm going to invite you this week to illuminate where and what actually the fear is around your success. 99% of the time when I'm coaching people, it's never a fear of failure. It's always a fear of success. And most of the time, it's fear around being seen. It's fear around, can I handle it? It's fear around who's going to hate me when I'm this way or that way. And I want you to examine those things because these are often things that come up as money blocks in our ability to create wealth. So as we have this waning moon in Sagittarius, we also have Pluto stationing retrograde. It stations retrograde every single year. So you're probably going to see some themes come back that were at the beginning of the year when we had all of those ice out protests in Minnesota, etc. Things are going to be illuminated even more from that time. Think about the Epstein files, all those things that were released. And so what a lot of this stuff is kicking up awareness around what we actually need to know in order to create new leadership, in order to follow those visions, in order to follow that intellect and intuition. And remember, Pluto is in Aquarius for quite some time. Like those are 18 to 20-year transits. These are generational transits. And so when Pluto's in Aquarius and it spins retrograde, it's going to ask you, where is that vision from within? Where is your role in the tapestry of freedom? Where is that space within you that is calling forward? And this week, it might bring up some things around that time that you were kind of experiencing on a collective and also individual level. So we also have a square between Mars and Jupiter and then Mercury and Pluto. And squares often cause opposition, right? They're like tension. And if you think like the four corners of a square. So when we have square, a lot of people are like, oh, this is like bad to do things with. But I disagree. I really think call me an optimist, but I really think that the universe is always working out for you. And even if it delivers an opportunity to look at things because you're being challenged, I want you to think about everything in life that needs resistance to grow, right? Plants need resistance from the soil so that it grows strong and it can grow tall, right? Our muscles need resistance when we go into the gym to gain strength. So of course, this week is going to ask you to fortify what that vision is, but it's also also going to ask you to trust that intuitive space. So we have Mars in Aries squaring Jupiter in Cancer, which means there's going to be this tug between your head and your heart. And so this tug between your head and your heart is going to say, like, well, this is the way things should be done, but maybe I need to try a different way. And that different way is going to be the space of innovation. That way of being in space of trust is where you're going to expand. It's not the things that people think are going to make you successful. It's doing the things that are a little weird, that only you're kind of getting these like little hits on, and then you're allowing yourself to move. So this is that week. Legacy builders understand divine timing. While others manifest randomly, you'll know which cosmic windows amplify intentions by 10x. 2026 Ritual Planner, every cosmic money window, eclipse portals, Venus transits, lunar cycles, mapped with manifestation rituals. Same cosmic timing I've used for seven-figure spiritual entrepreneurs. 2026 cosmic windows won't repeat for another 12 plus years. Miss now, wait until 2038. The complete manifestation calendar is only $37. Spiritual entrepreneurs don't leave timing to chance. With the square between Mercury and Pluto, you're going to also feel this in your communication, in the way that you're thinking, in the collective events. Like, what is my purpose being here at this certain level, right? What is this bigger essence? How do I want to create security and scaffolding and safety from the inside out? Not necessarily from a system that tells me I'm safe, but that internal safety, right? Where can I follow my intuitive guidance so fiercely that it opens doors that I didn't even realize were there? So this tug between your mind and heart is going to come into the third quarter moon. And we have this third quarter moon on, May 9th. And it brings in this illumination around, once again, Aquarius. And so as we come into Sun sextile Jupiter, this is an opportunity to just get really clear on that ability to trust where you're going. Where you are going and where this collective is going is not going to be the same place where we've been. And it takes innovation, and it takes courageousness, and it takes the ability to listen to your heart. It takes the artists, it takes the muses, it takes the people who are willing to bridge something differently, right? And if we think about the greatest pieces of art, they didn't come from a strategy or plan. They came from being a conduit. They came from being an expression before the art was formed. And if you think about all the great pieces of art that really touched humanity, like, that's where it came from. And most artists need, this type of environment or to grow, like a type of environment where there's a lot of catalysts going on. And so this week is going to be that catalyst. My invitation for you is to recognize that, one, we're in Taurus season. Taurus season is synonymous with being able to check in with your personal worth, also your wealth. And wealth to me means your ability to create a decision or a freedom-based choice that will be completely divulged from that safety and knowing within your being, regardless of what is happening outside of you. So this is that week. How deeply can you trust in the wisdom of your heart and your soul? How deeply can you trust in the beingness of what you are? And then taking a courageous step from there. All of my most successful launches, moments in my business, like all in my life, required me to have that space of trust first, right? And that space of trust is going to open doors. But if we don't and aren't willing to move from the mind and into the heart, we don't know what is possible, because the heart is what creates miracles. The mind does not create miracles. The mind can only protect us and think logically at what is available in front of us. But the heart and the intuition and the soul know more than that. It can see all of those things. So this is that initiation point. I invite you into, this opportunity to see around how you can work with this lunar energy this week. And lunar energy is so powerful because it rules our internal worlds, and our internal worlds that are, woven into our belief systems and our emotions and all of those things. That's actually where we shift trajectories, right? And so when we come into this lunar understanding, we're coming into the feminine, we're coming into listening, we're coming into this moment of, okay, what do I need to see that I'm not seeing right now? What are the doors or things that are going to be opening for me? What if I just reach out a hand and reach out? And I want you to trust in that space. There's so much opportunity, especially even if it looks like things are failing or falling apart on a collective, emotion or personal level. It's the moment that our greatness can come to light, and that moment that things are actually turned on. And so this is that particular week where you might be asking yourself, okay, where can I lean so deeply in to the knowing that I was created for these times? Where can I lean so deeply in to the awareness around I have everything that I could possibly need to move into this next day? Where can I deepen my awareness and trust and faith around that I am always guided on time? And that's one of the biggest things that I advocate for. And when you truly listen, when you really listen, the energy and the answers will be there. And that's the power of ritual. And that's why we actually work with the lunar energy so much with ritual and in your chart when the moon is moving around your chart, even for your business, because it's going to invoke particular energies for you. And so I'd like you to go ahead and look up and see, like, where was Scorpio in my chart last week? What illuminated in this area for me? Where can I glean these opportunities for growth? And where can I weave them into the knowing of what I'm creating consciously on this earth? So that is your invitation this week. Lean into your heart, allow for the mind to witness the miracles that are possible, but make sure that you are trusting in this space. And that tension, that challenge, that opportunity to reframe your mind in the sense that I am already worthy, that is what is going to give you that next step or next idea through.
That's today's spiritual guidance from the seventh dimension. Ready for live transmissions and daily drops on the current transit specifically for you? I've got you. Join my private Telegram channel via the link in the show notes. Remember, trust what you're feeling. Your true identity is already built. Just say yes.